so now let's get into our recap of NFL Week 1. Well, do we want to recap the entire Week 1, or do we just want to talk about the Falcons?
Well, I can only talk about the Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs-Texans game because those are the only two games that I really – well, and I'm sorry. The Cowboys versus – who did they face?
The Rams. Let's not talk.
The Rams game.
It's not.
It was a little boring, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So real quick recap about the Falcons versus the Seattle Seahawks. The Falcons lost, even though Matt Ryan happened to get himself into the past Dan Marino and become 9th place in passing yards, which is a great feat, but it's just kind of hollow for a lot of people just because they're just like, man, his stats keep getting padded, but we don't get wins or whatever. So let me ask you, I did see some flashes of a great team in this law. I saw flashes of it. Mm-hmm. It's just they're not putting it together. Yeah.
Are you asking what did I see from them?
I thought I asked you a question, but I know I didn't.
No, you didn't.
So my question is, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that there are flashes of greatness in this team, but it's just they just don't seem to be able to put it together? Because look what happens on the first defensive play. Tech McKinley comes and gets a sack, who he's been sack hungry, even though he's on a contract year. So even if he performs great, I'll kind of be wondering, do we really want to pay him? Because I don't know about you, I don't really trust players who have a record-breaking or a breakout year during a contract year, because I'm just like, I feel like you're playing for the contract only. You're not actually playing to your, you know what I mean? Anyways, defense does that. Defense limits Russell Wilson's on a lot of things, but then they also give up, freaking pass interference that gets them to the goal line and gets them touchdowns, and they somehow let a fourth and like 10 or something like that to the goal to get a touchdown that way. So it's just, I see flashes of greatness where they were doing good stuff. Offense is still doing its thing, here and there, but I just don't feel like they're getting it together and they're not sinking the way they should.
Okay. I was actually, and you know what? I think I'm like I'm an eternal optimist. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the first couple of drives.
They were good.
Yeah, they didn't end how we wanted them to. Like there was the part where like Gurley was getting like good chunks of yardage on his runs, and then I think we got to like a 3rd and 1, and for some reason we brought in Brian Hill. I guess Gurley was tired or whatever, and then he got stopped at 3rd and 1, and then I think we had to settle for a field goal. And then there were other instances where, where I remember like later in the game, there was one when we were down by like 16 or something, and Ryan threw it to Ridley, and like I think it went through his hands, or like something that you would think Ridley would normally catch. Like he didn't catch it, and this is like 4th down or 3rd down, something like that. And then we had other. We had like near misses, right? We get to 4th and 1.
Well, Russell Gage should have gotten a freaking helmet-to-helmet call on his behalf.
Yeah, so there were like little things here and there, but honestly, I think the score is a little unfair to the Falcons as far as like if the score was going to be based on actual effort put out there and stuff, I would say the Seahawks probably win that game still, because Russell Wilson is just he was heads and shoulders above everyone that played on Sunday.
I think he's on an MVP campaign this year.
Yeah. No, I agree. So he's heads and shoulders above everyone else that played on Sunday. That being said, we lost by 13?
35-38.
Yeah, so we lost by 13. That didn't feel like a 13-point loss from what I was watching. It felt like we could have put a more respectable score line. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I don't think the score to me isn't honest, because we scored like 2 touchdowns in garbage time where the game was well out of hand. To me, and look, I'm usually optimistic too. My best friend was actually wondering, he was like, what happened? Because he's usually the pessimistic guy, so he had to be optimistic this time.
Yeah.
Because I'm over here talking about, I was like, so are we gonna So what are we gonna do when we keep Kansas City's offensive coordinator as our head coach? Next year. So he's like, man, we're already firing Dan Quinn, which I'm not firing Dan Quinn week 1, but maybe week 2.
So here's my thing on that. As far as like garbage time points or whatever, I say no. Those weren't garbage time points because we even saw it just then when we hit that last touchdown. What happened next? Koo got the onside kick because that is something that we know Koo has.
That is something that Koo is amazing at.
Exactly, we know he has it in his arsenal. So the fact of the matter is, when you have someone like that, you're never really out of it. You can steal possessions out of the stuff, right? So yes, he got those yards late and scores late, but I think that the offense showed enough in there that I was like, if they really tighten this up and if the defense does their job, I can still see the Falcons going 10-6. I really can. Because we did this against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. This isn't a scrub team, So I think Dallas, the Dallas game is going to be more of a baseline because I think Dallas is right around the middle of the pack, in my opinion, anyway. So if we can do well against Dallas, that will show how well we can do against most teams that we're going to play against.
And I will mention one thing about the week 1 is most week 1s in a regular season. Week 1, the team that you see on week 1 isn't usually the team that you will see throughout the season. Week 2, sometimes that team isn't even the team that you'll see. It's not till like week 3 or 4 that you really start to see what the team's going to be like. And this one's a little bit different because there's no preseason. So I feel like, and the Houston Texans kind of show you a little bit about that, right? About this there has to be an asterisk to week 1. So I will put the asterisk to week 1 where I think honestly against the Cowboys, they'll get it. They should get it better. Now, if they do the same performance that they did this week with the Cowboys, then I think it's time to start wondering because I'm sure Dan Quinn knows he has the hottest seat in the NFL right now in regards to possible coaches being fired. There's bets now in Vegas that he's going to be fired, the first one fired. So that's obviously not something that you want to have. But week 1 in today's NFL is even more of an anomaly than week 1 would be during the regular time, a non-COVID related season. So
I would say if we beat Dallas, we finish 10-6. If we lose to Dallas, maybe 4-12.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's a question that we can have after. Look, I'm hoping. I don't want Dan Quinn to get fired. I really don't. I like Dan Quinn. I think he's a good coach. It's just for some reason he just seems to miss certain parts. Because I honestly feel that when the Atlanta Falcons hired him, they wanted him to be their Bill Belichick kind of, or their Pete Carroll, a guy that they could just leave in charge of their team, never have to worry about them being horrible. Just like they can see him being consistently good, which we have been consistently good, but it's unfortunately been at the very end of the last 2 seasons. And even in 2016, they really didn't get clicking like the way they got to all the way to the NFC Championship game until after they lost to Kansas City. That's where you notice that they just started whooping everybody that they were playing. So he can't afford to wait this year because a lot of people want Raheem Morris too, even though Raheem Morris said, did you hear what Raheem Morris said about how he didn't take the secondary series?
They were playing for Chris Carson and they weren't taking like the passing game seriously. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially.
Which this is any game. There's a reason they call it any given Sunday. You can't take anything for granted in the NFL at all. So, anyways, but yeah, it wasn't a great game for me. Honestly, the only reason I say that is because seeing them at the end of last season, even though you really can't go from season to season, but seeing them at the very end of last season, I was expecting more off the bat for this first game. But hopefully the second game they get it, because they got opportunities to win because they have Cowboys next. Like you, I agree with you. They're in the middle of the pack. They have a lot of holes and a lot of questions. And Dak Prescott is not, to me, as great as some people want him to be. I think I wouldn't say he's an average quarterback, but I think he's only a little bit above average.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think above average. It would be harsh to call him average. He has enough
He has a
weapons.
great running game. That's why.
Yeah, yeah.
That running puts him above average. So he's above average, but you're not a $40 million quarterback like he seems to think he should be. So
Right.
Speaking of a $40 million quarterback, another game that I did watch, and I'm assuming, did you watch it? The Kansas City versus the Texans game?
A little bit. I can't remember what I was doing on Thursday, but I watched it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it briefly in regards to the unity thing, and then real quickly about that. Actually, the Atlanta Falcons did something with the Seahawks. Did you see that opening kickoff? When they received the ball, when the returner took the knee, everybody on the sideline, everybody on both teams took a knee too in solidarity.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great. And unfortunately, there was people in the stadium, probably be some dumbasses booing that too. But anyways,
well, we let's assume that it wouldn't have happened since
they didn't get booed.
Since they didn't get booed.
There was no fans there.
Exactly.
But the Kansas City Chiefs game, Texan game, Kansas City just showing that they're probably gonna repeat as Super Bowl, at least as AFC champions. I think they're gonna repeat.
From what I did see, Mahomes is gonna be great for a while. He's gonna be up there, like consistently competing for championships for a long while.
Makes me wonder if you think that maybe Trevor Lawrence might be the Peyton Manning to his Tom Brady. Don't think so? Is it because he's Clemson? No. I just don't understand the love for Trevor Lawrence like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch college football.
Yeah.
I just hear him out there. People saying he's a once in a generation kind of player.
Peyton Manning.
But then again, so was Andrew Luck, and you saw that didn't work out.
That was sad.
And a lot of people weren't saying Mahomes was a one in a generation kind of quarterback when he was coming out, but look what he ends up doing. So you never know. This is football. You never know. Some people don't translate from the college football to the NFL the way they will.
Speaking of translating, Joe Burrow is playing tonight. How do you think he's going to do?
You think he's going to be good?
Well, I was going to ask you, how do you think he's going to do on the season? Like, how many wins?
Oh, well, if that's what we're going into, because we don't care about talking about the Rams Cowboy game, because
I don't. Yeah,
which is the only other game that we really watch. He's with the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are all, as long as they have that cheap ass owner, they're gonna be like the Cleveland Browns were before LeBron came and won them a championship. Maybe they'll be on the cusp. Maybe they'll get a chance. But it's the same team that kept what's his name for so many years of one and done for what 7-6 years straight, where they were one and done with Marvin Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna give who do they play tonight? The Browns?
Let me check.
Yeah, let's pull up the game.
We might as well do the thing now.
Yeah.
Zoom. Hey Zoom, how do I do this?
Here, I'll pull it up.
And I get it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, they're playing the Browns tonight. Can you see it?
Okay. All right. So.
All right. Hey, do we want to hide our pics from each other or no?
No, actually, this is pretty cool. Now we finally get to both be on the same on the screen at the same time for the people. You get to see both of our beautiful faces at the same time.
Are both of us showing? Oh, cool.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So
we'll find out.
Bengals or Browns? Okay, yeah, actually let's do it this way. So the first one you pick first and I pick, and then the second one I pick first and you pick, and then we'll alternate as we go.
All right. So I'm picking on the Bengals and the Browns. Bengals and the Browns. I don't do scores. I won't do scores just because I hate when people say they're gonna win 27-30, last minute score, blah blah blah, throws for 5. Shut up, you don't know that. I'm actually gonna give that one to the Browns, even though I'm not a huge Mayfield fan.
I was actually gonna give Browns as well because I feel like they've had a couple more years to get it together. All right, Giants and Bears. Barkley had a rough game on Monday, and I think he's gonna want to fix that. So I'm gonna give this to the Giants, even though the Bears are 1-0 right now. Are they 1-0?
Not 100% certain, but I'm gonna give
Yeah,
that
Bears are
one
1-0.
to the Bears. Actually, I'll go with the Bears. I think Khalil Mack could probably show who he is.
Okay. So I picked Giants. You picked Bears.
I picked Bears. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Rams versus the Eagles.
Yeah, I'll write this down when I'm doing
I'm
that
gonna
again.
go with. All right, perfect. Because I was trying to figure, but I was like, no, we're going too fast. Rams versus Eagles. I'm gonna give it to the. I'm gonna give it to the Rams. Actually, I think what's his name? The coach has a chip on his shoulder to be like, look, my 2017 year wasn't a fluke. I think he's trying to prove something. So I'm gonna give that one to the Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Rams as well. I mean, the Eagles let the Washington football team come back on them, so I'm gonna give that one to the Rams. All right, Falcons.
All right, since we're Atlanta based, we're
Cowboys.
gonna skip the Falcons Cowboys.
Okay, we'll leave that for the end. Okay.
Let's for the end, yeah.
Panthers versus Buccaneers. Wait, no. I'm going first in this one, right?
All right, yeah, you go.
I'm gonna say Tom Brady, Buccaneers. He's not gonna go 0-2. Buccaneers.
Actually, I think he is going to go into. I'm going to give it to the Panthers. I think Terry Bridgewater is going to prove that, hey, man, too many people didn't. They waited too long to give him a chance, and I hate to admit it that I think the Buccaneers are going to be the weak links of the NFC South.
Really? Okay. All right. It's interesting. All right. 49ers.
After that first game, I do.
49ers and Jets.
Since I'm going on that one, 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers. Easy one. Broncos and Steelers. Broncos and Steelers. Let's see. Oh, Steelers. Yeah, I liked what they did on Monday. Was that Monday? Yeah, they were good. Steelers.
Yeah, it was Monday. I'm gonna go with Steelers. I don't think the Broncos are where they think they're gonna be this year yet.
Okay. All right.
A lot of people were like, you sleep on the Broncos, but I think the Broncos are going to take a little while they're going to be a late start kind of team. Jaguars versus Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Jaguars. No particular reason, just Jaguars. Lions and Packers. So in one of my fantasy football leagues, I have both Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And I'm actually sitting Russell Wilson this week and starting Aaron Rodgers because I think the Packers are going to beat the Lions.
I'm going to go with the Packers too. I actually think that I think Matt Patricia is going to be the first. Actually, I think Matt Patricia is going to be the first coach fired before Dan Quinn this year.
Right.
If Dan Quinn gets fired at all.
And the Lions let the Bears beat them. So, yeah, there's something there. All right.
Bills versus Dolphins?
Mm-hmm.
Bills.
Yeah, Bills. Okay. Vikings.
Bills have to prove. Bills are going to try to prove this year that, look, I don't care that Cam Newton is with the Patriots. They're like, we're still going to try to win this division for the first time in so many years. So I give it to the Bills.
Right, and the quarterback, Josh Allen, he's like really mobile. Like he's really good. Vikings, Colts. I like the Vikings for this one.
I like the Vikings too. How do you think? Do you think this is the final leg for a lot of these quarterbacks that were lifelongers on one team and went to this team, like Brady and Rivers? I honestly have always thought that what I don't like about Rivers is a lot of people compare him to Matt Ryan, but put Rivers automatically in Canton and give a butt with Ryan. So I'm like,
yeah, that's what No, Matt Ryan is more deserving than Rivers. I never understood the Rivers love, to be honest.
It really is true. Like people just throw him in Canton, and then I'm like, but freaking Matt Ryan has better wins than him.
Has Rivers been to the Super Bowl?
Exactly. He hasn't even been to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, get out of here with that. No, Matt Ryan gets in before Rivers. All right.
All right.
Vikings, right?
Yeah, Vikings.
Okay. Vikings as well. Wait, did I pick first or did you pick first?
I'll just say the next one.
Okay.
The greatest name ever, the Washington football team versus the Cardinals. This is a good game, actually.
I'll pick. Oh, is it you?
Oh yeah, I can go. I think this is gonna be a good game just because of the young quarterbacks. But I'm gonna go with what's it called? I'm actually gonna give that one to the Cardinals.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to Cardinals for the running back Kenyon Drake. I think he's gonna have a really good game.
And isn't there a where did the running back go? No, I'm sorry. The Cardinals traded the running back to the Texans, and they got I think honestly the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals.
They got Drake from Dolphins, and they sent Johnson to Texans. Okay. Your camera is having issues.
No, I'm good. Ravens versus Texans. Who you got?
Ravens, Texans.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Bounce back for Watson.
I think the Texans have a very big issue in the name of Bill O'Brien. I'm gonna give it to the Ravens on this one.
Okay, all right.
I think the Ravens have the making of being a great regular season team and then losing again in the playoffs.
Okay, all right. We'll see. Chiefs, Chargers. We can skip that one. Chiefs.
You know what? You could skip the Chiefs games from now on. Most likely they're gonna get the win.
All right. Patriots, Seahawks.
Seahawks. Oh wow, really?
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seahawks. That Patriots defense, man.
Unless the Patriots can find a way to limit Russell Wilson,
which I think they can. That's the only reason why I'm benching Wilson this week, because I think that Patriots defense is serious. All right, Saints, Raiders.
I'm gonna go with Raiders.
I didn't get to watch this. Oh, it's still Breeze, isn't it? I'll go with Saints.
I'm never going to choose the Saints. I'll probably go. You'll probably beat me on those predictions.
Yeah.
I'll try to be as as I can. But remember, the Raiders are playing in their new stadium for the first time.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that could be I could spur them.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little bit of inspiration because I heard well, real quickly, man. That stadium for LA,
SoFi Stadium.
Yo,
yeah, it's dope.
That's a nice ass stadium. It really is. Their food still isn't cheaper than ours, though.
No. It's always Mercedes-Benz. Come on.
Exactly. Speaking of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, who you got? Falcons versus Cowboys. What's your predictions on that one?
Falcons by 10.
I'm gonna give it to the Falcons, and I know I don't do scores, but I will say I have a feeling that the first half will be a low-scoring half, but eventually the Falcons get it together, and then they run away with the score, and then they win. I'd say maybe win by 10 points at the most.
Okay, all right.
Or at the least, I would hope.
Okay, so you have an over on 9.5.
I have them over on the 9.5.
Okay, all right. That's our week 2 predictions. We'll check back in next week and see our tally and yada yada, and that's that.